Good evening, my name is Miku Koi, and this evening I'm going to talk about certain terrorist groups such as the Islamic State, IS, and how they might harm our national security and impact our way of life. A small number of people in Australia observe an interpretation of Islam that is selective, violent, and extreme. They are influenced by extreme messaging from terrorist groups such as the Islamic State, who are active online, spreading their violent ideology and channeling persuasive propaganda to susceptible, vulnerable, and easily influenced individuals. The radicalization and recruitment of Australians is increasing. Violent extremists are reaching out to those willing to listen and encouraging them to either to join the IS or to conduct attacks in its name. In some cases, specific directions have been provided to undertake acts of terrorism here. Others, including those that are not in direct contact with violent extremists overseas, may be influenced by propaganda to undertake acts of terrorism in Australia. These radicalized to violent extremism may display behavioral changes, develop new social networks and associations, withdraw from previous ones, and promote an extremist ideology. Recent large coordinated attacks, terrorist attacks, are concerning, and the small number of Australian-based IS supporters might be emboldened by the perceived success of their overseas counterparts. Additionally, IS will glorify recent attacks, such as those in France, Belgium, and in the US, using it in their propaganda to motivate and inspire their Western-based sympathizers and supporters. Element of some of these recent attacks, such as the use of firearms and explosives as weapons, and capturing of hostages, and the focus on soft targets, civilian targets, could be employed in an attack in Australia. Government and security personnel, such as the military, police, and security agencies, are often targeted by terrorists. However, indiscriminate attacks are increasing, and the risk to the general public in Australia remains high. Overseas extremists have encouraged local supporters to attack the public anyway. Attacks and plots in Europe and Africa in late 2015 targeting the public underscore this threat. Attacks of this nature are designed to cause injury or death and are aimed at disturbing our lives and damaging the nation by causing fear. This is why it is important to the public to maintain a level of awareness and report any suspicious activity immediately to the authorities. The most likely form for a terrorist attack in Australia would be an attack by an individual or a small group of like-minded individuals. However, a large or more coordinated attacks cannot be ruled out as well. Threats can develop quickly, moving to an act of violence with little preparation or planning. It's highly likely that terrorist attacks in Australia would use weapons and tactics that are low cost and relatively simple to obtain, including basic primitive weapons, explosive and or firearms, and even cars and trucks, as we have seen in France recently. These are commonly used in terrorist attacks overseas and featured in the September 2014 attack on the police offices in Melbourne, the December 2014 Martin Place siege in Sydney, and the failed shooting outside New South Wales Police Headquarters in Parramatta in October 2015. In the current environment, Australians should go about their daily businesses as usual, but should exercise caution and be aware of events immediately around them, informing the authorities about any suspicious activity they might encounter. Thanks for listening.